When I first married Ethan's father, Mark, I knew I was stepping into more than a marriage, I was stepping into a family. Ethan was 12 when we met, a quiet kid with oversized glasses, an unsteady confidence, and an intelligence that revealed itself in flashes of brilliant curiosity. He could explain the difference between cumulus and stratus clouds but could barely make eye contact when introducing himself to someone new. Mark always said Ethan just needed gentleness, someone to see him, not just instruct him. I understood that more and more as the months passed. Ethan built walls the way other kids built friendships, layering them brick by brick from years of uncertainty and loneliness after his mom left. So, I didn't force closeness. I didn't play the new authority figure. I simply made myself present, someone he could approach when he was ready. I didn't realize just how much that choice mattered until the evening everything changed. It was a rainy Thursday in late October when I found him in the garage, sitting alone on a stool with his head in his hands. His backpack lay open beside him, its contents scattered haphazardly across the concrete floor. The garage light flickered, making the shadows jump as if the world itself was unsettled. "Ethan?" I asked softly. He startled and quickly wiped his face, but not fast enough. I saw it, the redness around his eyes, the trembling of his shoulders, the way his breathing hitched as he tried to pull himself together. "I'm fine," he muttered, but his voice cracked. I stepped closer, but slowly, giving him space. "You don't look fine," I said. "And you don't have to be. Not with me." For a moment, he didn't speak. His fingers twisted anxiously in his lap before he finally whispered, "I messed everything up." I lowered myself onto a nearby crate. "You can tell me anything. I promise." He hesitated, then sighed shakily, pulling out a crumpled sheet of paper, a test with a red D circled at the top. "It's math," he said bitterly. "I tried. I studied. I really did. But when I looked at the paper in class, everything was just gone." My heart ached. "Does your teacher know you're struggling?" He shook his head. "No. I don't want Dad to know either. He works so hard. And I'm just messing everything up." There it was, the weight he'd been carrying alone. Not failure, but fear. Not disappointment, but shame. "Ethan," I said gently, "everyone struggles with something. Asking for help doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise." He looked at me, really looked at me, his eyes swimming with tears. I didn't know who to ask. That sentence, simple, aching, honest, struck me deeper than anything he had said before. I realized that he had been wandering emotionally alone for a long time, unsure of where support ended and judgment began. "Well," I said softly, offering him a small smile, "you're not alone anymore." He sniffed, wiping his eyes with the back of his sleeve. "Can you help me?" "I'm right here," I said. "We'll figure this out together." The first step. That night, after Mark left for his late shift, Ethan sat at the kitchen table while I brewed tea for myself and hot chocolate for him, topped with the marshmallows he liked. I spread his math books across the table, grabbing a notebook and a few colored pens. "Math looks scary," he said with a half-hearted laugh, "but it's probably easy for you." "I used to struggle with it too," I admitted. "I didn't understand any of it until someone took the time to explain it in a way that made sense to me." His eyebrows lifted slightly. "Really? Really? So, let's find the way that works for you." The next hour was spent breaking down fractions, drawing silly diagrams, and turning equations into stories. Somewhere between comparing variable x to a detective searching for clues and turning fractions into pizza slices, Ethan began to smile. "You make it fun," he said. "That's because you learn best with visuals," I replied. "You're a picture thinker." "Is that good?" "It's amazing," I said. "A lot of creative people think the same way." He stared at me in quiet awe, like he'd never heard something good about his brain before. The change. Over the next days and weeks, our routine grew naturally. After school, he'd drop his backpack at the door, grab a snack, and join me at the table. Sometimes homework. Sometimes conversation. Sometimes just existing in the same room, getting used to the absence of silence between us. Mark noticed it too. "You two are getting close," he said one night with a soft smile. "He just needed someone to listen," I replied. "I'm glad he has you." I didn't say it aloud, but I was glad to. The real breakdown. The turning point came in early December, near finals. I found Ethan sitting outside on the backyard steps, staring at the frosted grass while the cold nipped at his fingers. "You okay?" I asked. He didn't answer. I sat beside him, pulling my coat tighter around us both. After several moments, he whispered, "I'm scared." "Of what?" "Failing. Messing up. Disappointing Dad. Disappointing you." My heart clenched. "Ethan, I'm proud of you no matter what. And your dad is too." He swallowed hard. "I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," I said firmly. "You're growing. And growing is messy." He blinked fast, fighting tears. "Can you stay with me while I study? I do better when you're around." "Always." The growth. Finals week came and went. When Ethan returned home with a proud grin and a test marked with a bright green B+, I pulled him into a hug. "You did this," I said. "You. Nobody else." His voice cracked. "I couldn't have done it without you. You just needed someone in your corner." He looked up at me with a mixture of relief and confidence I hadn't seen before. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for not giving up on me." "I never will," I promised. And I meant it. The new beginning. Months passed. Ethan grew, not just in height but in voice, in courage, in trust. He joined the science club. Presented a project in front of his class. Even made 2 new friends, something he once believed was impossible. One evening, while we cleaned up after dinner, he said, "You know, I don't feel alone anymore." I smiled. "Good. Because you never were." He dried the last dish, set it down, and looked at me with a clarity I'd rarely seen. "You helped me believe in myself," he said. "I'll never forget that." I touched his shoulder gently. "You're becoming someone incredible, Ethan." All I did was walk beside you. And as the house settled into its evening quiet, I realized the truth: helping him didn't just change his life. It changed mine.